quivering.
Yeah.
Do you always do that?
What?
Get excited and quiver? I'm just making fun of you.
Sure. Yeah.
What would you like to know? I can't tell you that. Yes, go ahead. I'm messing with you.
Oh, okay.
What would you like to know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know? Then I really can't tell you.
I don't know what I want to know.
Would you like just kind of a general reading?
Sure. Yeah.
Were you here when we talked about the oracle cards?
No, sorry.
Oracle cards. Okay. Can we do one of these?
Sure.
Are you familiar with tarot?
A little bit. I've
Yeah.
done it once. But it was years ago.
Years ago. Do you remember what it was?
It was just like at a house party thing.
Okay. We do this. It's fun. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and shuffle this deck up.
Okay.
All right. Now, remember that upside down and right side up, upside down, can have two very different meanings.
Okay.
Okay, they can be similar, they can be very different also. So you want to turn half the deck around once in a while and you shuffle.
Okay.
And I want you to just kind of think about the way your life's going. Think about the opportunities that you have. Think about your relationships. Think about work.
Mm-hmm.
Think about work. Think about home. Think about your hubby. Think about your kid.
Future baby.
Future baby. Big have a name.
We don't know. Traeger or Drew probably, but we don't know.
Yeah, let's have an answer as to what the name is.
We actually can do that.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to do it though.
Okay.
So,
That's good. I'm like, that's pressure.
if you could, sometimes people can feel the things that I feel. Did anybody feel the fear that came up in her?
Let me make that decision.
Don't
do it. So
Okay,
funny.
so can you divide this up into 3 different stacks for me?
Sure. They don't have to be even.
Oh no, I don't care. And then choose one of the stacks for me to read from. This one, middle. Okay. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
That has nothing to do with it.
That's new.
I just mess with her. She's fun to mess with. All right, so these are 2 ways of looking at life. This is one way and this is a different way, okay? And we're going to talk about both of these, but there's a couple things I really want to go into a lot of detail, and there's some stuff that I really don't want to go into detail right now.
Okay.
And because we just don't have time to do this whole thing. This is a reading that you get extremely deeply involved, right? And that's one of the things that happens when you come to me and you say, I don't know what I don't know. It's all of a sudden the spirit dumps out tons of stuff, okay?
Okay.
Okay, one thing I really want you to look at is the moon. The moon card, we were just talking about, remember Joe Eishenboschen, and we were talking about right and wrong, good and evil, black and white, left and right, okay? So the moon card is one of those that has that. The moon card, and being upside down, it's a little bit different, so we want to talk about it right side up, and then we'll kind of turn it around and modify it a little bit with the modifier card.
Okay.
So the towers represent that good and evil, the right and wrong, okay, the left and the right. So the thing about it is, you're walking a path. You have a path of life that you're walking. You're going through life, and you're experiencing different experiences. And you have things, purpose of life that you need to accomplish over time. One of the things that happens, particularly with young women, is they have multiple purposes of life. They have a purpose of life up to the time of childbearing. They have a purpose of life from empty nest on. Okay, so there's 3 phases of the purpose of life. One of the things that's going to happen to you right now is you need to focus on your path of life during the phase from birth of children to empty nest, okay? All right. So in that path of life, one of the things that you as a mother have to do is you have to shepherd your flock of children through this really horrible, it's not really horrible, I shouldn't have said that. It's just this mess, this maze of different paths, and you have to select the right path, okay? One of the things that you have to do is you have to discover who your friends are and who really are not your friends. So I talk about the jackal a lot. So you have, like the golden retriever and the jackal. Jackal looks like a dog, and a lot of times jackals can look very friendly, and then they turn, the minute you turn your back on them, they bite you in the butt. Okay, so you got to know which one's which. Right now, what I'm feeling for you is that you're having a hard time deciding what that path is, staying on the path, making sure you're not straying too far to the left or to the right, and knowing who your friends are along the path. Okay, there's some advisors that you can pay a lot of attention to. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit too. That will help you to figure out where you are on the path. You have to make sure that you're open to it. And that's really important, that you make sure that you're discovering the path, that you're open to discovering the path, that you're open to finding out who your friends are, who the jackals are, who's good for you, who's not good for you, and really making conscious decisions about who are going to be the people that are in your children's lives. Okay? That's the operative word, in your children's lives. It's not about you right now. Your purpose in life is your children for a while. Okay? This card is upside down because you have not opened yourself up to it. That's why it's upside down. And so you need to make sure that you spend some time opening yourself up to it. That's what this modifier card is about. The modifier card is a celebration card, but because this is upside down, it's saying you haven't opened yourself up to it, so you haven't got the right to celebrate yet. We want you to have that right to celebrate. We want you to have that modifier card to be active in your life and give you the ability to celebrate these joyful events of having children and all the things that come with them. But unless you really get yourself on that path and open yourself up to the advice of others and their wisdom and their knowledge to help you along the way, anything will happen. It's not going to happen the way you want it to happen. Put it that way, okay? This card has come up a number of times today. I'm disturbed about how often it is. This card is about walking right stinking past the things that are going to give you abundance of benefit in life. Okay, so if you look at this card, you got a crippled guy, and you got this old crone, and she was barefoot walking in the snow, and that sounded horrible. Was that my mother? So you got here the tree of life. This is like a church, right? Stained glass window church, tree of life, the benefits and the abundance that comes from having this spirituality. Again, this is an admonishment for you to open yourself up, to come in the door, to expand your spirituality, particularly for your children's sake. Okay? You want to impart to them a high degree of spiritual ethics and help them to understand where they come from and where they're going and what their path is. Okay, so that's really important. You've got a lot of advisors, particularly you've got a couple of really creative people that are entering in or are in your life now. And you can identify them by their creativity and their ability and willingness to work hard. That's how you're going to identify these people. I don't know who they are. It could be men or women. It doesn't, just because they're men on a horseback doesn't mean that they are men. Okay? But there's these crazy people. These kind of crazy creative people are people that can help you to discover what your path is, where you should be on your path, to give you the good solid advice that you need to be a really great mother. So you have that in you, and you want to be that way, right? Okay, I don't want to talk about this card at all because it'll take me a stinking hour. So we're going to go around this card. And we're going to talk about your spiritual aspect. Your spiritual aspect needs work. That's why this card about work and overcoming obstacles and doing battle, is there. It's because you really need to work on your spirituality. Now, I'm not talking about going to church. It could be going to church, okay? But it doesn't necessarily mean that. I don't go to church. I'm a very spiritual person. Okay? I couldn't do this if I wasn't. So you need to understand what your spirituality is, what it looks like, what it means to you, and how you impart your spirituality to your children. This is really a lot about your children. You get that? Okay. This is about your temporal aspect, and in your temporal aspect, one of the things that this card is this is actually, if you ever see the sarcophagus, a lot of in Europe, a lot of times for somebody that's really important, they'll have an image of them on the top of their sarcophagus. Okay, so that's what that is. The swords that are hanging on the wall are kind of his trophy swords. They're hanging there, and the bows are not being used. Okay, swords are logic and reason. It's about thinking about things. Okay, so one of the things this is saying to you is you need to exit your repose. You need to get up out of your slumber of not worrying about things that are temporal, and you need to use logic and reason to figure out how you're going to provide for your children. Okay, this is really about providing the basic needs and the fundamentals to, you know, and ordinarily I wouldn't say about your children, except that was clear in the beginning of your path. Your path right now is your children. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Doesn't show it all.
Yeah.
So, but you need to take those swords off the wall and wield them. You know, you need to use logic and reason, not just emotion, and you know, you need to direct what's happening in your temporal, what's happening in your physical world. The ability to feed and clothe and shelter your family. Okay? Now, you're married,
Yep.
and you got a good husband who's working, okay? You need support in that. Okay, so that's probably the biggest way that you can do that. You got this huge juggling act coming up in front of you that you're not ready for yet. You're not. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay?
It's
You
true.
need to prepare yourself. You need to prepare yourself. Okay? And that's where all these advisors, this is actually an aspect of you. I can't go into this, there's not enough time. This could take an hour and a half to go through the aspect of you that this guy represents. Because this is your maleness. You know, everybody's got a little bit of feminine and a little bit of masculine. This is your masculine side, and it's a warrior. So I'm gonna give this to you in a nutshell, so you got like a minute, all right? In a nutshell, your masculine side is a warrior, all right? And your warrior can accomplish a lot of things. It can build an entire kingdom by going to war and conquering the nefarious things. This guy didn't get it by conquering good things. This guy did it by conquering evil, all right? You have that warrior in you. Where that warrior comes to play is your ability to go to war and do battle for those things that are yours, meaning your children, all right, your progeny. So you're going to be the she-bear. Like, do not get in my way. Do not cross the things that I know to be right, because I will tear you anew. Right? That's going to be you. Right? That needs to come out. There's a point in time when that's going to absolutely need to come out, where you need to protect your children. Right? But all these other things, make sure you got a great spiritual aspect. Make sure that you're taking advice from good counselors and good mentors, and that you're choosing the right path. That you're communicating with your husband and helping him to understand what your needs are, because that's all he wants to do is meet your needs. You know, he does. He doesn't know how to do it. He's just like me. He was an idiot. Most men are, especially when they're young. All right. So, but
Talking about my son here.
It's okay, we know.
so you need help along those lines, and when you do those things, I'm giving you a speck of what this card's about. But that masculine aspect of you will come out and be able to dominate, and not dominate your husband, but dominate your condition, and make sure that you're getting your kids where you're on the right path. Okay.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Thank you, sir.
I'll
Thank you
scare
so much.
No,
Okay.
I'm not.